Activation energy, like we mentioned before, is the energy needed. It's the minimum amount of energy that is needed for the reactants to collide and form products successfully. So if you were to draw the process of the reaction on a graph with energy on the y-axis and the progress or the time on the x-axis, then energy of the reactant somewhere here, an arbitrary value, they collide and they reach up to a point known as a transition state, which is the reaction intermediate. Okay, this is also known as a transition state. At that point, the reaction intermediate is the species that will have the maximum amount of energy. And so the energy that goes from reactants all the way to the transition state, that is the activation energy. And then once the reaction is done and the products are formed, products are somewhere here. Okay, so activation energy is this energy barrier. Now, if the reaction is exothermic, as in this reaction releases heat after the reaction is complete, then the energy of the products is lower than the energy of the reactant. So energy of the reactants is somewhere here. They go up to a peak point, reach the transition state, and then product is formed, and that is somewhere here. So this energy of the reaction, this is the amount that is released. Amount released as heat for most practical purposes, for the most purposes, for now, for our class. Now, if the energy of reactants is less than the energy of products, then what happens is, to form the products, the reactants will absorb heat. And that's known as an endothermic reaction, and the difference in energy is the energy that is being absorbed. What does a catalyst do? If this is the energy barrier, if this is the activation energy, what a catalyst does is it lowers that barrier. If you notice, this is the reaction in the presence of catalyst. And what this catalyst does is it lowers the energy barrier. So previously this was the energy barrier, and now this will be the energy barrier. So catalyst influences the rate of reaction by lowering the activation energy.